Hi guys, if you are viewing my channel first time, please subscribe to my channel for more updates on machine learning. Today we'll mainly discuss about on random forest. Random forest is one of the supervised learning technique in machine learning. By using supervised learning technique, the prediction can be made. Random forest will give the highest prediction power without changing any hyperparameters. But in case of decision tree, we need to adjust some hyperparameters like max depth, splitting criteria we need to adjust to get the maximum prediction in the decision tree. But in case of random forest, with initial parameters only we are getting the maximum prediction. That's why we are using in the real-time application like banking, stock market, medicines and e-commerce. Random forest can solve the many problems in the machine learning, regression problems and also classification problems. And here if you see multiple independent features and one dependent feature, x is my independent variable, y is my dependent variable. Independent variables are many like x1, x2, x3 and so on, but dependent variable is only one. For example, my dependent variable data range is continuous, that means minus infinity to plus infinity. Then we need to apply the random forest regression technique. For example, my dependent variable data range is binary or categorical. Binary means 0 or 1. Categorical means true or false, yes or no, blue, green, red. These are the categorical information. At that time, we need to apply the random forest classification technique. Random forest is mainly made up of multiple decision trees. And here the random forest regression, always the backend process will be decision tree regression technique. The random forest classification technique, the backend will be decision tree classification techniques. Here the mainly random forest, the mainly training and also prediction mainly using ensemble techniques. Now we'll mainly discuss about on the ensemble techniques. Here ensemble techniques are two types: bagging or bootstrapping aggregation, boosting. Bagging or bootstrapping aggregation is a parallel process and boosting is a sequential process. For example, I want to identify the only blue samples. In case of fourth iteration only, I am able to identify exactly what are all the blue samples, what are all the red samples. First iteration, I am able to identify only three blue samples, but two are incorrect. Okay, that's why I am drawing a line for the these two. That's why I am able to miss again other three samples. That's why I draw a line to the here. Here I am able to see both blue and red combinations. That's why in the final iteration, the last fourth time I'm able to identify exactly all the blue samples, I am all the red samples I'm able to identify. This is a sequential process. At the time of fourth iteration only, I'm able to identify what are all the blue samples, what are all the red samples. Okay, this is the way boosting will work. Now we'll mainly discuss about on bagging or bootstrapping technique today. Why? Because random forest always follows the bagging or bootstrapping aggregation. Okay, the first step, the we'll discuss more on this concept now. Dataset, for example, dataset contains 1000 samples. For example, out of 1000 samples, I am taking 700 samples for the training the algorithm. For example, this data set I want to divide into the multiple data sets. The step one, we need to divide into the multiple data sets. Data set 1 contains randomly 400 samples from the 700, and data set 2 contains randomly 420 from the 700. Data set t minus 1 contains 450 random samples from the 700. Similarly, data set T contains 500 random samples from the 700. This is the way in step 1 we are dividing single data set into the multiple data sets, and each data set we are applying either decision tree classification method or decision tree regression method. Similar way, each data set we are applying classification or regression technique. At the final step we are combining all the results here. For example, in case of random forest regression, for example, let us assume we have 5 decision trees in my random forest regression. For example, first decision tree I got 20 result. For the second decision tree I got 30 result. For the third decision tree I got 40. For the fourth decision tree I got 20. Fifth decision tree I got 30. Okay, in the final step I need to aggregate all the results. For example, here I got the 5 data sets here. Okay, out of 5 data sets, here I am just averaging these 5 data sets. Okay, here I need to submit all the samples and divide by 5. We have 5 results. That's why I'm aggregating all the results. I got 10. 10 is my prediction data. Similar way, in case of random forest classification technique, for example, first decision tree I got the blue. The second decision tree I got the categorical information again blue. Third decision tree I got green. Fourth decision tree I got blue. Fifth decision tree I got red. Here I got the more predictions are blue. That's why more voting is blue. That's why I'm selecting as my prediction is blue. Okay, this is the way random forest, the way of prediction and also training will be. The training data set will be divided into the multiple data sets, and each data set we are applying the decision tree classification method or decision tree regression method. Okay, after that we'll get the results. In case of random forest regression technique, we are averaging the all the results. But in case of categorical random forest classification technique, which is having highest vote, for example blue has highest vote, that I am selecting it as predictor, other we are rejecting simply. Okay, this is a way we are able to train the algorithm and also predict the algorithm using the random forest. Now we'll discuss, we can take one data set for the random forest regression and also we can train and test. Similar way we will take another data set for the random forest classification and also train and test. Okay, we'll see in Jupyter Lab. Okay, before that we'll just more on the data set. Okay, here years of experience is my X and salary is my Y. Okay, this is the data I'm taking, and both are the continuous data. This is a Y contains continuous data. That's why we need to apply the random forest regression technique. Okay, here I am dividing into the first two set, train set and the test set. Zero point 0.5 I am using for the train set, remaining 0.5 I am using for the test set. For example, this is my X column, that's why I am mentioning it as X train. This is my Y column, that's why I am mentioning a Y train. Similar way, this is my X test data, right? That's why if it is X column, I am mentioning X test. If it is my Y column, Y test. This is my test data, this is my train data. This is the way we are dividing the data set into. Okay, similar way we can take the random forest regression model. Using the Jupyter Lab, we'll train the same data set, we can use and train the data set and also predict using the random forest regression. Okay, the first year random forest regression, importing the required libraries. Okay, here importing pandas as PD. This is my pandas. If I want to work on the CSV files, we need pandas. That's why I'm importing import pandas as PD is my alias name. This is my data set is my object equal to PD is my alias name of the pandas dot read CSV is my method. I am just passing my salary dot CSV. It contains years of experience salary. Same data set I am passing here, and dataset dot head, this command, it will display the first 5 records. This is a way I am successfully imported the dataset into my dataset object. Okay, now I am doing the data pre-processing. Okay, here I need to mention what is my X and what is my Y. X is my years of experience and Y is my salary. Here I am mentioning, I am printing X. First I am printing X, years of experience. Similar way salary is my Y. Okay, here splitting the data set into the training set and test set. Okay, similar way as we discussed here, train set is 50% and also test set also 50%. Okay, similar way I am dividing the data set here by using sklar model selection, import train test split. This is my method. I want to split my X and Y into the 4 parts. I'm using this method. Test train split, I'm passing my X years of experience, Y salary, complete data I'm passing it here. And here I'm mentioning how I want to divide the data set into. For example, train size I'm mentioning 0.5. Similar way test size will be also 0.5. Okay, similar way I divided the data set here to show all the divisions. Okay, here the training set is zero point 0.5 and also test set also 0.5. Random state always we need to mention, otherwise the prediction always will change. Okay, here I got the X train, X test. Similar way Y train and Y test. Okay, similar way we got all the 4 parts. For example, if I want to train my algorithm, I need to pass the X train and Y train to train our model. Now I want to test our model, I need to pass the X test, then I will get the Y prediction. Then we can compare the what is the actual data versus prediction data. Then we can calculate some metrics for the regression, so we can identify how much efficiency our model is. Okay, similar way I am training my model using the sklearn ensemble as we discussed in the initially introduction. By using ensemble bagging or bootstrapping aggregation, we are using the random forest regression. Okay, this is the sklearn dot ensemble import random forest regression. This is my class I'm accessing to the my object. Random forest is my object equal to random forest regression. Here I am not mentioning any hyperparameters here. With initial parameters only I am getting maximum prediction. Okay, that's why random forest is very useful. Okay, random forest is my object. This is my method is my fit in the within this class. I am passing xtrain and ytrain to train our model. Okay, here I am passing xtrain and ytrain to train our model. Okay, my model training is done using this step. Okay, now I am here the mainly we need to discuss max depth. All are we discussed in the in case of already in the decision tree. These are estimators how many decision trees will be used to build my random forest. The 10 estimator is 10 means 10 decision trees. N job means here how many processors I want to build my random forest algorithm. Here none means I am not mentioning any hyperparameters here, that's why it is none. Okay, these are already we know all other parameters. I think these are only the parameter we want to discuss. Here how many decision trees we need to use. These are processors. How many processors to build our tree. And OOBS means out of back samples. We should not take more than 1/3 of data set for the training. This is a parameter it is telling us that. Okay, next I want to predict the data using the X test. Here I am passing my X test to get the Y prediction. Okay, here to the predict here the my object dot I am passing to the argument to the my method predict X test I am passing, I am getting the Y prediction. Now we can calculate what is y test and y prediction. Then we can calculate the accuracy of our model using some metrics. Here sklearn metrics. These are within the sklearn I'm importing mean square error and also r square score I need to calculate for the regression technique. These are the metrics we need to calculate, and we'll say that whether our model is efficient or not. Okay, mean square error I'm passing y test and y prediction, then I got the MSE mean square error. Similar way r square score, similar way I'm passing y test and y prediction. Now I got the r square score. Once we have the mean square error, then we can calculate the mean square root mean square error. Here I'm applying the square root to the MSE, then I will get the root mean square error. Okay, similar way I'm displaying all the metrics here, MSE, RMSE and R square. These three metrics I'm displaying it here. Okay, these are the how much error in our model is we can identify using these two metrics. This is our how much efficiency our model is. 0.92 means 92% our model accuracy is. That's why without changing any hyperparameters in our model, we are getting maximum prediction. In case of decision tree, it is easy to overfit, but in case of here, we won't overfit the model. It is very useful in our real-time application, this random forest. Similar way, we can take the another data set for the classification. This is a kyphosis. This is my target y data, and x1, x2, x3 all are the independent variable, and 70% of data I'm using to train the data set. This is a train the data set, and the remaining 30% I'm using to test the data set. Okay, I'm dividing the four parts. If it is train data, x train, y train. Similar way it is test data, x test and y test. Similar way, if I want to train the my model, I need to pass x train and y train. My model training will be over. Similar way, I need to pass the x test to get the y prediction. Once we have the y prediction, then we can calculate the accuracy between the what is the actual data, what is my prediction data. Okay, this is the way we can calculate the similar way for the random forest classification. Okay, similar way I'm importing pandas as PD. This is my pandas library. For if I want to access my CSV, we need to import the pandas. This is my alias name is PD. Dataset equal to my object equal to PD is my alias name of pandas. Read CSV is my method. I am accessing kyphosis CSV. Okay, same CSV I'm accessing it here, and here dataset dot head it will display the first 5 records absent, absent, present. Okay, these 5 records it will display from the top. Okay, similar way here I'm processing the data. Okay, here x contains except kyphosis, age, start, number. These are my x1, x2, x3. That's why I am assigning to x. Remaining kyphosis only this column I am assigning to y. If you see here I am printing the x and y. X contains age, number, start. Y contains only kyphosis, whether it is present or absent. This is the way I am pre-processing the data. After pre-processing, we need to divide into the four part: x train, x train and x test, y train and y test. Similar way, by using sklearn one of the method, train test split. Here I am passing the x and y parameters, and here I am mentioning test size is 0.3. That means train size is 70%. The train is 70% and test is only 30%. Okay, next here random state, always we need to mention something, otherwise we will get always different prediction. Okay, to get the constant prediction we need to initialize something value to here. Okay, here similar way I'm training my random forest using the classifier. Here I'm using an ensemble technique, random forest classifier. Previously we used random forest regressor. Now I am using the classifier. Okay, to calculate the accuracy we are using the similar way from the sklearn metrics accuracy score tree. I think this is not useful, maybe in the decision tree we have used. Okay, random forest is my object equal to random forest is my class. Here I am mentioning how many decision trees I want to implement. Here I am mentioning 100 decision trees I want to implement. Within this, here I am mentioning criteria entropy or Gini we need to mention. Why? Because internally the logic will be either decision tree classification technique, right? If I want to here I am mainly working on the random forest classification technique. The backend will be decision tree classification technique. Decision tree classification impurity calculations are by Gini or entropy. We can use either of one method. Jobs I am using only one processor. Here I am mentioning to one. Okay, these are the mainly parameters. 100 decision tree I am using to form a random forest classifier here. That's why I'm mentioning these many decision trees I want to form. Okay, that's why here I choose 100. We can just change as much we want. Okay, similar way here I'm passing, if I want to train my model, I need to pass xtrain and ytrain to train our model. Okay, here for model training I need to pass xtrain and ytrain for my model training. Okay, my model training is done. This is my object dot fit my method. Here I'm passing xtrain and ytrain. Similar way, if I want to test my model, here I'm passing the my object dot predict my method. I'm passing the x test. Okay, if I pass my x test, I will get the y prediction. Then we can calculate the accuracy between these two. Okay, now we'll see how we can calculate the accuracy. Okay, we need to calculate the first confusion matrix. By the confusion matrix we will identify what are all the correct predictions, what are all the wrong predictions. This is my pandas. PD is my alias name, right? Similar way I'm using the pandas to calculate the confusion matrix. Here the crosstab is my method in the within the pandas. Okay, I'm passing y test and y prediction. What is the actual data, what is my prediction data. Row I am representing with the actual data rows, and columns names I am representing the prediction data. Okay, here import Seaborn. I want to represent in the graphical format. I'm using the Seaborn. This is my alias name is sn dot heat map confusion matrix. This data I'm passing it here to represent confusion matrix in the heat map. Okay, here what is my actual I'm representing in the rows, and prediction data I'm representing in the column. For example, actual is absent and prediction also absent. This is a correct prediction. And actual is present and prediction also present. This is also correct prediction. And here if you see, actual is present and prediction is absent. This is also wrong prediction. Actual is absent and prediction is present. Okay, this is also wrong prediction. Only out of 25, only 21 are correct prediction, only 4 are wrong prediction. That's why we need to calculate the accuracy 21 divided by 25, then we'll get the 0.84 accuracy score. I'm calculating using the sklearn. Here accuracy score we are calculating using the sklearn. Similar way I'm passing y test and y prediction, then we'll get the accuracy. That accuracy I'm printing it here. Okay, here I am printing the accuracy finally here. Okay, here the mainly advantage of random forest, we won't overfit, and also here we need only the one disadvantage, we need highest computational power, and it will be used for the both the regression and also classification problems. And it is a very it can be used to categorical information binary for the continuous data also. And it is a very fastest and simple flexible tool to debug and also trace in our machine learning techniques. Thank you friends, thank you for watching.